ladies and gents, first off, I generally don't like putting videos before the podcast, but I feel like I need to provide you guys a bit of an update. First off, when it comes to this podcast towards the very, very end, there's technical difficulty where, I don't know, I just can't hear him, can't hear Sabbath anymore. But not much I can do about that one. Still, rest of the podcast is amazing, so I really can't complain. And scheduling with how often podcasts coming out. At the moment, it's a little hard because as you can sort of see behind us, we're sort of packing up a bit because we're moving house. So I'll probably have a bit more of a studio feel once it's all set up. Whether or not I just wait until I get there to be able to smack them out, or if I do it in between, I'm not 100% sure yet. But once we're moved in, the schedule will come back to normal and we'll start pumping out the videos. Yeah, now enjoy this chat with Zak Sabbath. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Natural Chats, Wrestling Chats. I know it sounds a little different, but that is because we're doing two different shows. This one is specifically for wrestlers, and there's nobody else who I'd rather have on than someone who's helped me out immensely as a person and as a wrestler. All-around amazing guy. So the first person on Wrestling Chats is Mr. Zak Sabbath. How you doing?
How's it going, kid?
Oh yeah, mate, living the dream. Pretty hot in Queensland at the moment, but that's alright.
It is quite chilly. It's like 20, like high teens here at the moment.
Oh, lucky you. Which was like that here.
Look, right? You can't like have a bunch of floods and then complain that's hot.
I didn't ask for the floods though.
Look, in Queensland, you have one extreme or the other. It's either bullshit hot or you're swimming to work.
Yeah, look, it's not great. Not fun to deal with, but look, there's not much I can do about it, eh? So obviously, thank you for being the first guest on this.
Oh, my pleasure.
Obviously, this is a fun venture that I've been doing. Obviously, this is take 2 of this interview because all the technical issues.
The first one went great.
Yes, it was.
And now you're okay. You
that's
just glitched out then too.
Yeah. It's a connection thing, but if that happens, I'll just do a quick fix. But so let's get to know the man behind the character. So who is the man behind Zak Sabbath?
My name is Andrew, believe it or not. I am a husband, father. I'm a Twitch streamer. I've been wrestling for 15 years with over 700 matches. I'm a coach at Riot City. I'm also a professional martial arts instructor. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Nice. So, how was... Obviously, we've had this discussion multiple times. You had a bit of a shitty upbringing. So how was it? Because obviously... And how did wrestling tie into it?
Shitty is not how I would describe it. It's just to say it was challenging, but it was fine. Look, I can't fault anything because I am who I am today because of everything that's happened throughout my life, just like anybody else. But yeah, look, times were tough, but we got past it. Mum is a very strong woman, and she dragged up me and my 2 siblings as a single parent. Did the absolute best she could, and it was really cool. Kept the roof over our heads. Never went without. It was wasn't that bad.
So you the oldest, middle, youngest?
I am the eldest, yes.
Ah, lovely. So how was that?
Funny thing is, I am the eldest, but I was the last to get married and the last to have kids.
Shit happens, eh?
Look, I was just biding my time. That's all. It's fine.
So what was your
Can't
first?
argue with the results.
What was your first memory of professional wrestling? Not you doing it, just watching it or finding out about it.
My first memory back was when I was a kid because I actually discovered wrestling through video games because I've been a gamer for. Because my mum was a gamer, she played Sonic and PGA Golf on a Sega Master System. Yes, I'm old. Shut up.
No, that's fine.
And
That's
I
fine.
loved my Sega. Oh my god, I love my Sega. But eventually we got the Nintendo 64, which was crazy. And I borrowed because back in the day of Blockbuster,
Oh,
Netflix
Blockbuster.
before Netflix.
Oh,
I
miss
know, sure,
Blockbuster.
mate. Shut up.
No, dude, I had
rented a game
Blockbuster.
called, huh?
I had Blockbuster when I was growing up.
What,
Not for as long. Not for as long.
For like what, 3 months?
No, for about 12 years.
Fun
I
fact:
think it was
did you
12
know the
when it
last
started to go away.
Blockbuster actually closed in 2017?
No, I thought there was still one going in America, wasn't it? I think there's still
No,
one.
that was the last one. The last one
Oh.
closed in 2017.
That's sad. Because, yeah, we had a Blockbuster, and then just down the road was a Video Easy.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Good old times where you wanted to go watch a movie, but some other bastard was borrowing it, so you had to watch something else.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yep. But yeah, I rented a game called NW, the WCW was NWO Revenge, and I absolutely adored it. And I was playing his characters. My favorite character, believe it or not, was Eric Bischoff because being a massive martial arts fan, he had as a black belt in Taekwondo or karate or something, so he did some martial artsy moves, and I loved it. Between him, Hayabusa, and Sting, loved all of them. And I spent a lot of time playing the game, but one time when I was a kid, it was during school holidays. I happened to be up much later than I would normally be, and back then WCW Nitro was on Monday nights at bullshit o'clock. And I just happened to catch a glimpse of it as it was finishing, and it was the match between David Flair and Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash stole his girlfriend or his wife or something, and was pacing out in a big truck that was driven by Sting, and it blew my tiny mind. And then like Monday nights, my mum would even let me stay up. Not that I barely made it. I usually always crash out on the couch. But she let me stay up and watch WCW Nitro. Poorly edited, 3-hour program, poorly edited down to 1 hour on Channel 9, and it was the best thing ever. But here's what kind of angel my mum was. She would let me stay up, right? Which no other mum really would.
Oh,
but
dude,
I'd
no.
always clonk out. But she would then record it on the video
VCR.
player, because VCRs
Yes.
for those kids playing at home.
Yes.
And yeah, so she just recorded it for me because I couldn't watch it. And I had all these like 3-hour tapes just packed full of WCW because WCW was the bomb.
No, actually, funny story about the old VCRs is my handwriting's pretty shit, but when I was growing up, mum and dad tried to fix it. So I had a tutor who used to come, and what she used to do is she would record pay-per-views onto like her VCR tape and then give them to me. And I had to basically do like a show report. I had to write down what I liked about the show, what I didn't like, to try to get me writing more and improving my handwriting.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah, that was actually
Did it
really
work?
interesting. Oh, look, I'm definitely better than I was back then. I'm still pretty shit, but
Mate,
it did work at the time. Yeah,
People say I
100%.
should be a doctor. My handwriting's so bad.
Oh yeah, mine's horrid.
But
Quickly
here I am,
going
just
back,
a
you said that
doctor of
obviously
thugonomics.
you said that
Anyway.
you were big into martial arts. So what got you into that as well? Because obviously you're into pro wrestling, but also what got you into that?
I think a buddy at school in primary school got me. He started bragging about Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Ah, nice.
and I think I watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It was like and then Power Rangers. So Jean-Claude Van Damme, Power Rangers, and Jackie Chan.
Nice.
So that was the bomb diggity. Oh, my childhood, like watching the Street Fighter movie, which is a colossal piece of shit. But back then, I thought it was the bee's knees because I love Street Fighter. What was it? Jackie Chan, Who Am I? Like any Jackie Chan movie I could get my hands on from the video store, I would watch it. Who Am I? The Tuxedo, which is a bit later. Drunken Master. Oh, I love Drunken Master. Again, that was more of a new one. Oh, they had a whole bunch of obscure ones that never really made it to the West.
Did you ever catch much of Bruce Lee?
Look, funny story. As a kid, I used to think Dragon, a Bruce Lee story, which was a movie about Bruce Lee. I thought Jason Scott Lee was Bruce Lee. So when I actually started watching Bruce Lee movies, I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
It just blew. My tiny child mind couldn't comprehend that Jason Scott Lee, the guy playing Bruce Lee, was not Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I only like one Bruce Lee movie, and that is Enter the Dragon.
No, that seems to be everyone's movie. Yeah.
But yeah, I was much more of a Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Sylvester Stallone. So like double for Jean-Claude Van Damme, it was Double Impact, Universal Soldier, Street Fighter, Hard Target. You know, all these just amazing. Bloodsport.
Did you ever get into the Expendable movies?
Oh, dude, I went and saw those with Boomer. And we were popping in the crowd like it was a live show. Those deaths had us like leaping out of our chairs. We were. They had us reeled in, man. They had us reeled in.
What do you reckon the last one?
Loved them. Pardon?
What do you reckon the last one?
Oh, the third one.
It's third or fourth? Have they had
I don't know.
I know they had one with Terry Crews in it. That's the last one.
Again, they just got more ridiculous and more over the top each one. Look, I loved them. As a 90s kid and a fan of 80s and 90s action movies, absolutely adored them. I thought they were great. I don't care what people say. If you're watching the Expendables movie because of the plot, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. So, how was schooling? Because obviously, I know for me personally, being into wrestling was very taboo, even back when I was getting to school. So, was it much of a thing for you at school?
Luckily for me, I was pretty blessed when it comes to the high school I went to was not kind to me. I was very severely bullied, but not for liking wrestling.
Yeah, right.
Because I went to Salisbury High, and it being in the northern suburbs was just a pit of debauchery and sin. Not that I'm the religious sort, but they were just all scummy people. I got bullied a lot for having long hair because I grew my hair out. But yeah, wrestling wasn't really a factor. The reason I was lucky is because this is a true story. An Olympic wrestler who actually went to Olympics and won medals came and did a 10-week course on Greco-Roman Olympic wrestling.
Nice.
And taught us all these moves. But the teacher didn't know how to test us on it, so she made us put on WWE-style matches to grade us on the 10-week program.
Oh,
even though they didn't correlate at all.
No.
And me being a massive wrestling fan, I was like, oh, it was the greatest thing ever. I'm getting graded at school to do a wrestling thing. And I took choke slams and everything.
Oh,
I hadn't had any training at all, but because I was such a fan, I got an A.
Oh,
and
man,
I just absolutely stole the whole show. It was fantastic.
I wish.
But there was actually there's some dingus who only had a few months of training started teaching kids how to wrestle at my school. So more often than not, during assemblies, there was these absolutely insane backyard wrestling shows at my high school. So pro wrestling, thanks to this dude.
Who was it?
Who sucks.
Go on.
Fucking Blake Mitchell. Asshole. Anyway.
If anyone's ever seen his Twitch streams, there's a reason why he's trying to be careful. Because
he's ethically challenged, morally corrupt. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But he was training kids at my high school. And more often than not, there'd just be these essential giant backyard wrestling shows where dudes would be jumping off ladders and doing all this stuff onto no ring. It was just gym mats. These guys were ripping themselves apart on. And it was always, I loved it. Again, for me, it was the best. No one else liked it, but I did. So believe it or not, high school, pro wrestling was actually a pretty big part of my high school.
So then when did you...
Then I got into the business around 17 as well. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what...
I just turned 17 when I started training.
Because I know, obviously, we talked about last time when it all got corrupted, that you saw your first live show when you were 12 with your father's friends?
Yes, 12.
Yeah. So
See, in SA, there was only one promotion at the time, and one school. And the school was ran by Cole Devani, may he rest in peace, who was one of the only people of the old generation who bothered to pass anything on.
Yep.
There are only a handful of people responsible for the scene actually existing at all in Australia. One of those people was Cole Devani. Like literally, you can the names who actually gave a damn to pass on knowledge and to create the scene that we have now. They are the godfathers. I can count them on one hand. That's why it's important for everyone to know their wrestling history.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But Cole opened up the Monster Factory and he trained Jag, Havoc, Johnny Raddick, Tyler Daniels, Davis Storm, the Armstrongs. Like they all got their start there. Rocky Monero, of course, as well. And from there, there was Pro Wrestling South Australia, which did a couple of shows, but then a guy who had a carny business started up a promotion called Maximum Power Wrestling.
Right.
MPW. And that was what I saw at the Octagon Theatre. There was like maybe 500-600 people there. It was packed. It was crazy. And in my tiny child, 11-year-old mind, like, oh, WWE's fake. What's on TV's fake, but this is real. This is legit.
Yeah.
This has to be real because you can see them really hitting each other. Anyway, it blew my mind. And at that point, then, since I saw local wrestling, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be involved in pro wrestling.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
I think same sort of guidelines with me is I knew I wanted to do it, but you didn't know it was a thing. And then when you see it in person, live, when it's not, a WWE show, that's when it really clicks like, hey, this is possible and I actually really want to fucking do this.
Yep. Exactly. It really lit a fire in me.
If you have, when was your first live WWE show?
Ooh. I think I was 15. We got some nosebleed seats, which weren't actually too bad, to be fair. They're like 50-something bucks, $56, I believe, back then. And I could see everything. And holy crap, I couldn't speak the next day. I was going absolutely insane. Like all these guys I grew up watching. When I didn't know he was on the card, but when Shawn Michaels' music hit, holy shit, did I lose my mind. Like me and my three dudes I went with were just, Shawn Michaels, I love you. Oh my God. And obviously everyone giving Kurt Angle and Triple H hate and dude. I still remember it was Ric Flair was on it, John Cena, Big Show, Shawn Michaels. I think Shawn Michaels wrestled Edge.
What's the main event?
Main event was John Cena versus Ric Flair.
That's a good main event.
I think it might have been a tag match. John Cena tagging with Ric Flair against Triple H and possibly Mark Henry, I think.
Oh, nice. So what year was that?
It was amazing. It was a great show. Great show. They had pyros inside back then. It was a good time. Damn good time.
What year was that?
I think I was 15. So about 17 years. So what was that? I'm 32 now. So I reckon it was about 2015-ish. No,
17 years ago, doesn't it? It's
2005. No, I was 2005. Sorry, 2005.
Yeah, mine was a SmackDown show, and it was 2006. And the main event was Henry versus then World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I think mine might have been early 2000s.
Yeah, because that was really cool.
Yeah, it was early 2000s. So it was like 2004, 2005, something along those lines. I think mine was a Raw show.
Yeah, because I think back
I've seen both Raw and SmackDown come through.
Yeah, I think my Raw one was like 2014, so it was much later. There's a big gap in between. But I went and saw the NXT show that came out, and that was insane. That was really good.
Yeah, I think the NXT show, that's where Boomer got his tryout.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah, nice. So then, obviously, your first live show, and I remember from the last conversation, you said there was very few in between that and actually starting. So when did you start? Why did you start? And who did you start with?
Right. I started in 2006. I started training under Blake Mitchell in a danky house in the northern suburbs on carpet underlay and concrete in a room in his mum's house.
So how's he back now?
Oh, just fantastic. Yeah, he was. Yeah. And I wasn't training for more than 2 months before I was put on shows, and I really shouldn't have been, but he needed bodies. And my first match was a Royal Rumble type match, and it was dreadful. The whole show was dreadful.
So this one?
Yeah, that's me. Pasting that boy. Woo! Look at the high neck cross body. The one thing I've always had is a vertical leap. Yeah. Even now, I've still got like a 40-inch vertical leap.
I don't even know what So,
look at these. Again, I haven't been taught any of this. I've only just learned my breakfalls, like bare basics. Terrible whip, terrible clothesline, this sort of stuff I've watched.
So talk us through the gear.
This is 2006. This is August 2006. The promotion is called XAW. The ring was bought with someone else's money. This was a catalyst because someone invested 30 grand into him. He bought the WCW ring and props that were left when they did their one floor return, which the ring was a piece of shit. But this led into me. I reckon I did 3 matches with this gimmick, which was Ghost, and my nan made those pants, and they lasted years, by the way. A lot of wrestlers borrowed those back in the day.
So I'm assuming the paint is instant person.
Yes. That and no one else was doing it. Like, look, some dude's just in black tights and a singlet. Like, out of all of them, I probably look the most professional, which is just sad. Black pants, white flames. They were meant to be more Tajiri style pants.
Yeah.
Like baggy, but they just did not work out that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah, nah, it's not good. Poor Ace was so mad his gear didn't come from high spots in time. But yeah, this led to Blake booking Steve Corino at the Golden Grove Rec Center, which he still lost money on. But he started making a name for himself. Thanks to that.
Are those rope or cable rope?
The seminar with Steve Corino was cool.
Is that rope or cable rope?
Cable rope. That was a spring-loaded ring, but the spring was just a... Like, there was... Generally with spring-loaded rings, it's like a shock absorber. There's a metal pole and the ring goes around it. That was just... and the spring goes around. That was just spring. So 2 big dudes took a bump and snapped the spring in half.
Is that a round post or corner, like square post?
I can't remember, man.
Because it looks eerily similar to the old AWA
the ring used to bounce so bad that the boards would fly up.
Yeah, it looks eerily
similar. I think they were squares.
Yeah, it looks eerily similar to the old AWA ring with like the corners and the fact that you said that it was the old WCW ring. Because I know...
No, this isn't the old WCW ring.
Because I think
the old
AWA's
WCW ring was 18-foot sleepers. Like, as in giant wooden sleepers. They were 18 foot long. And it was made out of all timber. And it was
there you go.
So insanely tall. But that thing was a heaven's bump. And the ropes, I'm not even kidding, were like this big. Like that big.
Oof.
Like, if you didn't have them right, you were running into a brick wall.
Yeah.
It was, but the bump though, oh man, it was clouds.
Clouds?
Yeah, man. It was such a good
So
bump. We
you
got
move on
spring out of
from
those
that.
ropes once.
And you move on to Zak Sabbath, because obviously you started off as Zak, and then you move on to Zak Sabbath.
No, I started off as Ghost.
Oh, after Ghost.
Started tagging with Boomer. I said, oh, what's my new name? And he suggested Zach. I'm like, all right, what about last name? You don't need a last name. Okay. And then we're Big Mike and Zach, larger than life. And we were doing that for a few years. See, that's what I said. We were a tag team before there was even a tag team division in SA.
Which is crazy to think of.
And then I got the Sabbath name from good old Joel Bateman.
Nice.
And I started doing Zak Sabbath about 3 years in.
So what was the influence behind, obviously, the switch from Zak to Zak Sabbath? What was the jump? Where the brain come from?
So that was an interesting bit of wrestling politics and drama. Blake got a TV deal through Channel 31, which is our local channel, which is a local community channel. And Johnny Raddick was promoting Joint Promotions Wrestling, but he wanted to control the product that got on TV. So he signed up with Blake to make sure that it was quality wrestling on there. Hence why I count myself as being trained by Johnny Raddick, Kincaid, Tyler Daniels, Rocky, stuff like that. Anyway, so that happened, and then we were doing the things, and then Snake Pit started, and then everyone was jumping ship to Snake Pit, including myself. Mike stayed with Blake. So that's when we split.
Yep.
And since I was a singles wrestler now, I wanted a last name. Bateman wanted to bring me over for the Zak Sabbath stuff. Because even as a singles wrestler, I was just Zach.
Yep.
And then Bateman gave me the Sabbath name. I'm like, yeah, I'll try doing this heavy metal. Because I was just Zak Sabbath with no real gimmick attached to it. So I tried doing the heavy metal gimmick for one show. And it didn't really didn't really get received well. So then I just kind of stuck with the name. And then I just started wearing a lot of green. I used a frog splash as the finisher, and that was pretty much my gimmick. Just I wear green and do a frog splash. I just get froggy chants.
So how was it splitting from Boomer? Because obviously you two would have been friends. So how was...
No. Me and Boomer didn't really get along too well after the split or before the split.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we didn't get along too great at all. At least at that time, anyway. Boomer had a massive ego. Massive ego.
That's why he was Big Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he was Big Mike. He had a massive ego back then. And then we bumped into Kincaid, and he beat the unholy crap out of us.
Oh, lovely.
Anyway, but the damage was kind of done, I guess.
Yep.
Because, the personalities just didn't clash. And...
So there's nothing really holding you to the company then?
No.
It's not like Boomer was there and you're like conflicted. It was a pretty easy decision for you.
I was what we call Blake washed.
Yeah.
Because he was promising us the world. He said he's got just work on ties to Japan and blah blah blah. And that's because I was wanted to be a professional wrestler. This is the best opportunity. He's brought these international guys. I just worked on this thing with Raven, and
how was
stuff.
that?
The seminar was great. Raven's a colossal douche, but the seminar was great.
Okay, why is he a douche? What happened?
He was an hour and a half late to his own meet and greet. Forced us to start our show an hour and a half late. All these people that came to see him, he was just a rude douche too. He tried to pick up a girl that was a third of his age.
Jesus.
Just colossal douchebag.
So I guess the way we always
so
put it out
unprofessional.
is just
Holy
being
crap.
a superstar. Is just being a superstar.
Yeah, just insanely unprofessional. Very wise when it comes to the business, but insanely unprofessional.
So when does Zak Sabbath switch to the Dark Prince Zak Sabbath?
Oh, so I had a few things. So I retired with no interest of wrestling again because I blew out my neck for like the third or fourth time.
How'd you blow out your neck? But how many?
Yeah, I tore muscles throughout my neck. It was.
How'd you do it though?
fucking
Do you know?
horrendous.
Do you remember?
Pardon?
Do you remember how you did it?
Oh yeah, I was kind of struggling mentally. I had like a massive black cloud anyway, so I wasn't looking after myself.
Yep.
And I wrestled a guy called Blue Blood, and I picked him up for this new move I was trying, which is like a fireman's carry but inverted. So I picked him up like an inverted torch rack. So I was gonna drop him face first,
like an Argentina
his
backbreaker.
weight shifted onto my head, and instead of putting him down, I've lifted him up with my neck.
Oh.
To try and save the move, and just went. Pfft. I felt it go straight away. Anyway, flash forward to like breakfast was 4 pounding 4. I was in so much pain.
Jesus, that's insane.
It was not good. Like sleeping was insanely pain. Like
So
every
was
day I
that-
woke up in agony. So anyway,
was that
I
a
went to the
surgery?
doctor, and they said, yeah, you've torn muscles in your neck. I'm like, all right, good excuse as any to hang up the boots. I didn't want to wrestle anymore anyway.
So was that a surgery or was that?
No
rehab?
surgery. I didn't look after myself at all, man.
Yeah.
Didn't do it. I barely did any rehab. I just let it heal over time.
So I guess that's
Don't do that, by the way,
yeah.
for those watching at home.
That was going to say. I'm
See a doctor.
assuming that's
See a physio. Do the work.
I'm assuming that's a big thing for you nowadays with the younger guys
Mm-hmm.
to always look after your body because.
Yep.
I mean, how are you feeling now physically?
Now I'm sore from the gym, man. My lower back sore from squats. But it's tight because it was bracing my core, not just my whole core sore from bracing from heavy squats. So I got leg DOMs, chest DOMs. I'm fine. I'm feeling alright. My hips are tight, but that's just a me problem.
Would you say that
yeah.
due to your past, you feel like you can, not injured, but you can get hurt easier than the average?
No, I'm kind of over being in pain though.
Okay.
Like where I used to deal with a lot of, because I used to like pretty much do all the hardcore stuff I could. Now, if I do it, it's because the show needs it or the booker wants it. It's not because I'm chasing it.
Yeah.
I'm just, if I get hit, I'm just fucking over it.
Yeah. So yeah, the jump to the Dark Prince.
Yeah. So I had a few gimmicks. So I obviously had the froggy. Woo. Then I kind of shifted towards like the lipstick and the eyeliner and stuff because I wanted to do like a mask thing. Anyway, the mask thing didn't work out, so that's when I shifted to the lipstick and the eyeliner and stuff, and the green and the painted nails and kind of a bit of an edgier look.
You weren't painting your nails prior?
Huh?
You weren't painting your nails prior?
No.
No?
Only when I went to like metal contests and stuff.
Yeah,
because
that's what I was assuming, yeah.
edgelord. I was a straight edge, but apparently trying to be edgy. But yeah, then I blew out my neck and retired. And then I came back because of Boomer, and fucking here I am, like 7 years later. Anyway, I finally did the mask thing with like the latex dragon mask. I had this whole dragon shtick going because I'd already training martial arts at the time, so that was kind of my whole shtick. And then I went to RCW but they didn't want me using a mask anymore. All the gear I was using at the time because the mask, because it hid my facials, and the pants resembled Grimm's stuff because he wasn't a Viking back then. He was just giant Dragon Grimm.
Yep.
He just started transitioning to the Viking thing. Anyway, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of trying to find my way. I was trying to, I don't know, just find that little thing. That clicking factor, the X factor. Anyway, I started working with Freddy Fusion, and then they pitched this story which kind of got the ball rolling, where I would pursue Demi Bennett, now Rhea Ripley, and this feud lasted like a year and a half, and it was like, is what cemented me as the top heel in RCW.
Yeah.
Turns out, if you act super violent and creepy towards the beloved blonde-haired, pretty, talented wrestler, people hate you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just doing my violent, creepy Casanova thing, and at the time, the guy promoting the socials was just throwing these random names. I was like, the dark one. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I might try that. And then he threw out that, will the Dark Prince triumph over? I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. And I messaged him, hey, dude, can I start using that? He's like, yeah, because I really need like a moniker or something. He's like, oh, yeah, go for it. Love it. Yes, please use it. He's like, thank you for using it. I'm like, hell yes. Anyway, so the very next show, I was like, yes, introduce me as the Dark Prince, Zak Sabbath. And then it kind of just carried on from there.
Yeah.
And I started building on it. And obviously, you know, I'm training, I'm in the gym, I'm starting to kind of build my momentum. Anyway, I keep getting more and more over as a heel because the whole thing with Demi, and then I had my match with Brooksy. Then I won the Strength Cup to then start my whole story with Grim when I was like, really started to do the mind game stuff, which was really, really cool, which led into, you know, Dark Days, which was possibly the most violent match I've had.
What was that one?
In recent history. And then from there, then I kind of just grew from there.
So what was Dark Days? I've never heard of this. What's this one?
Oh, Dark Days. It was Dark Days 2017 where me and Grim we're building towards an absolute blood feud. And that is where I kind of did my first real hardcore match. And possibly my only real hardcore match in Riot City, where me and Grim just beat the crap out of each other.
Nice.
And we went in there with some really good... That's when I really started to flex my muscles on the stick and in promos. Like, obviously, I was doing well on the stick, leading with Demi and that whole storyline. All in the video promos. But that promo against Grim... really that's where it really kind of shined, I guess.
Now,
I was very proud of that promo.
Grim and Kree, obviously the owners, bookers of RC Dub. I remember you telling the story that they actually had to change their name and they did this whole process to actually become RC Dub.
Oh yeah. That's probably not my business to tell, but yeah, that's how Riot City was formed. It was XAW. And then some shenanigans happened. Then it became Riot City, which is just a far better name.
Well, the reason I bring that up is obviously because RC, you look at Adelaide, you've got Wrestle Rampage and you guys, and RC Dub's obviously, I think now you guys are on this massive rise as well, because I'm seeing your stuff popping up more so now than probably it did back then. So to see what these guys have transformed from that to what it is now is also...
Oh, dude, it's been a massive journey
as well.
From the Bassos and at the time the Grecos. It's almost 20 years in the making. It's fucking sensational.
Yeah. So then obviously...
so much work, so much passion.
Bring that up as well is because you obviously became the Dark King when you won the strap from Creed.
Yes.
And obviously that's got to... Considering your wrestling history, the company's history... That's going to feel pretty damn good.
Dude, it was awesome. Here's the thing. My first year in Riot City Wrestling, at the end of year RCW Awards, 5 matches got picked for Match of the Year. 3 of them were mine.
Jesus.
And I didn't win Wrestler of the Year, nor did I win any of the Match of the Years. I feel like I got robbed that year. The second year... 2 out of 6 of the matches were mine.
Yeah.
For Match of the Year. Anyway, I was consistently putting on good, solid matches, solid storytelling. Because I was very much an old school, still very much in that old school mindset. Heels don't do cool stuff; they take the cool stuff. And I just pretty much rely purely on my character and my character shtick. When I wrestled, and it worked, but certain people didn't want me to have that top spot.
Okay.
Grim actually didn't want me in the top spot. He said I wasn't ready for us to feud. I wasn't ready for that main event spot.
Yeah.
because I wasn't, and he is right. I wasn't training as much as I should have been, but I was I was a full-time night shift worker back then, so training was hard.
Yeah.
Could I have trained more? Yes, 100%. But I trained when I could. When I wasn't starting, when I didn't have to leave training early to get to work and stuff. But look, here's the thing. I was already like 10, 12 years into my wrestling career then. I was putting on consistent, solid, if not good matches. And then Korea's like, nah, it's happening. And then we ended up, that's what led us to Dark Days. Anyway, the point I was making was, like, I was consistently performing. I was consistently doing my job. I was consistently telling stories and getting over with the crowd and getting putting other people over and getting those reactions. So to finally all that come to fruition after 3 to 4 years was awesome, and it really lit a fire under me to really drive, like, be better in the gym. Like, that's when I started. Problem is, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. It's probably the ADHD part of my brain that I pretty much ignored all the training at work that I'm supposed to do. Being a martial arts instructor, I'm meant to maintain my skill level and improve. I ignored all of that, and all I did was train, eat, and gym. That's it. And because I all I ate was chicken, rice, and broccoli, I wasn't flavoring the rice, so eventually I just stopped eating the rice, and I was just eating these small serves of chicken and broccoli. I shred like 8. I got down to like 6% body fat.
Jesus.
8 or 6, yeah, like 8% body, 6 or 8, something like that. And I was kind of building a little muscle because I was training so hard, but I shred up massively, ready for this this title win.
Now,
I put everything I had into it.
The odd thing with this, obviously, you said it was a big heel run, but if you watch the match, the fans are cheering for you.
Yeah, here's the thing. I was in the title picture for like 2-3 years. They were just ready to see me win it, I guess. I used a 12-year-old girl as a human shield. She was dressed as me. I pulled her over the barricade, and I used her as a human shield. And I got a standing ovation at the end of the match.
So how did that feel? Because obviously you were probably going out there expecting to be booed out of the building when you win.
Dude, I wanted people to throw their chairs into the ring. They hated me so much. But like, I remember the exact moment in that match where we're doing the big forearm trade-offs, and I'm getting the yays, and Kree's getting the boos. I'm like, are you getting booed? And like, boo. Yeah, I think I am. Why? And like, I don't know. What do we do? And Kree was like trying to think of a way he could immediately turn heel, and I just cruise off as a babyface.
Yeah. So what then happened from there? Did you go for the face? Was it just a one-off?
Yeah, I pretty much immediately turned face after that. Me and Kree had our rematch after what was possibly another stellar promo due to our production team and setting up a throne. That was really cool because I went to like this danky place and I was in gear and I had my queen and I had my title and Sean was kneeling before me at a throne. It was fucking cool, man. It was very well edited. Thank you, Jimmy C. And yeah, I had this last match with Kree and they immediately started booing me again. But afterwards we did the old handshake, showing respect, and everyone's like, oh, and then that's when Hayter came out. That's when Hayter joined RCW, and his first match. Oh, that pissed a lot of people off. Anyway,
why?
Because an outsider came in and his debut match was for the RCW strap.
Yeah, I mean I get it,
but Hayter was also a figurehead. He was the top dog in PWSA. People in the Aussie, and he was doing well interstate at the time as well. Hayter's just Hayter.
Yeah, I think I met Hayter just before RC Dub, I think.
Pardon?
I think when I first met Hayter, it was just before
you did.
Ship.
You 100% did. But Hayter came into it. He super kicked Selena and got a pop. Anyway, what cemented me as a face was my feud with Hayter.
Interesting.
because he came in, super kick Selena, got a massive pop. Like, oh, okay. But then Joe Greco, who was a beloved figurehead of Riot City Wrestling, he was the promoter, right? He was the guy who bought the first ring. Him and his family were this massive, like, everyone all the fans knew who Joe Greco was, and he was retiring. So Hayter came out and presented him with the original RCW championship, this watch which was gimmicked. It was like this broken watch as a retirement gift. Anyway, and then he super kicks Joe Greco, takes the watch, and spits on the old title, and that's when I come out.
Yeah.
Instant superface.
That'll do it.
Instant. And I pretty much cut a promo at, like, I don't respect much. It's kind of my thing, but I respect Riot City. This is my kingdom now. And you will behave accordingly, kind of thing. Yeah. And yeah, that's what cemented me. And that feud cemented me as a superface. And then Hayter fell into what is now known as the Zak effect. Is you become you're too entertaining for people to continue booing you.
I mean, that's always
he had a cracker of a match with Kree, and that's when the whole world-class egos thing started, and now Hayter's the face of the company.
Yeah, no, it is pretty. I think I saw a promo today where he's actually taking the RC dub strap to DMD.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
awesome.
Insane, which is absolutely
very
insane.
proud of the kid.
So just at this little spot, I've done a deep dive on the Insta again. Some of the same ones. I found some new ones as well. So I'll just get your reaction, tell us the story behind it, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, obviously.
Yes. This is 2011. Skinny boy finally found some fake tan. Zak Sabbath. As I said, all I wore was green. I did super kicks, a fancy DDT, and a frog splash. I was obsessed with aviators and bandanas. But, oh, look at them abs. And I did it. This is back when I was, like, working real hard in gymnastics.
So it's nice to know you were the Smoking Skull champion.
Okay. By the way, time for an old man rant. Nothing shits me off more now is when backyard garbo feds that have no business running have pretty custom-made titles, like, ready to go. Yet, me and a company that was drawing hundreds of people because no one in Australia made custom titles back then, I had to put over that this Smoking Skull belt was the Snake Pit Pro Wrestling championship. And I had people fucking messaging me on my Instagram. Oh, no, Instagram wasn't a thing back then. On my Facebook saying, it's the Smoking Skull title. And I had to try and put that shit over. The frustration. Oh my God, dude. Kills my soul. Years I had to put this thing over. I'm 5-time PWC / Snake Pit champion. And five times I had to put this thing over. Ha! Yes.
Old Dad Sabbath.
Yep, Dad Sabbath. So
very different to the green.
Okay, so the Dragon Ball Z socks, because for those of you who don't know, I'm a bit of a weeb. I love my anime. Dragon Ball Z being one of my all-time favorites.
So got
that's my boy Odin, and that's the first week we brought Addison home. And she is everything. It was cold. Yeah, just pure dad energy there. Words can't describe the feeling of having kids, man.
And if you don't believe he's a weeb, he's got a one-piece tattoo on his arm.
Multiple.
I thought there was all different ones, but yeah, I know.
No, they're all one piece.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Look at Odin. Beautiful
the
boy.
socks are bought for me by my sister-in-law. Michaela bought me the dressing gown.
And also got
I thought it was really cool.
Underneath as well.
Yeah, and there's a Dragon Ball Z singlet underneath as well, which me and Michaela bought ourselves because we went to Harbour Town and found him really cheap. And that's my boy Odin.
So why isn't he wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt then?
Because I couldn't find one.
Yeah, he's a beautiful boy, that one.
Oh yeah, this was awesome. By the way, I have all no respect for any worker like in the WWE that wrestles without a crowd. because it was so hard for me. Afterwards, after I did the first one, I could have done that forever, but I was struggling because I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah.
I was struggling. This was like the third or fourth project I've done with Raka Raka Boys. And this is at the old RCW Academy, and they were filming their video, recreating WWE's their favorite WWE moments. And yeah, they bought the tables, they bought the cans, and they wanted me to do the elbow drop. I didn't get paid for any of this, mind you. But yeah, I was afraid to go to the top rung of the ladder, and I'm glad I didn't because I landed dead on his head.
Yeah.
I literally landed on his head.
Now with these
Bruised
boys
my ribs
as well,
on that one a bit, like a son of a bitch.
Now with these boys as well, obviously you did the infamous Old Man Graham matches.
The second one, yes.
Second one, which obviously they were very well known for being absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah.
How was that experience before we move on to
the Old Man Graham thing? That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun,
but very hot.
I almost went blind in that match. Because I went off the ladder through the barbed wire table. The table didn't break. And the ref tried to pull the table off of me, but the barbed wire was hooked in the mask and almost got me in the eye. And I've just kicked him in the head in a panic and rage. Yeah. I had to apologize to him afterwards. But yeah, he just started pulling and almost blinded me.
This will never not be in. If this fucks up, this photo will still be back in the third take.
So that is a photo of my beautiful wife and my daughter. And my daughter's at her first wrestling show. The photo was taken by her Uncle Hader. And that is me in the ring wrestling Gabriel Eros.
Now, obviously, if anyone doesn't know, you're obviously married to Mickey Fortune, who's another professional wrestler. We'll definitely be talking about that later, obviously. Run us through these.
Oh, yes. All the times I've been in incredible pain. Two of those photos are from my Dark Days match with Grim.
So I'm assuming these two here.
Yep. The second one, the top right, is the first time that I got split open.
Right there. I'm not sure if that's just blood or if that's the gash itself, but that looked pretty nice.
That's the gash in my head, yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Stitches? Glue?
Yeah. I wasn't booked that day. I was meant to just... I was meant to book... I was meant to just manage Johnny. One of the guys missed their flight and said, Zach, you want a match? Sure. You're in a hardcore match with Crackerjack and Rocky Monero. Oh. Two jacked, tanned Adonises. I wasn't even tanned for the show. Anyway, it was the best match. First triple threat, first real hardcore match, and first time I got busted open. For a fed that lasted 2 shows.
How's working Crackers? Because we all know he's a little bit
I absolutely fucking love Crackerjack. Yeah. That man is an insane wealth of knowledge. Incredibly smart. It was amazing every time he came down to work Snake Pit. I learnt so much from him. His promo game is legit out of this world.
And he's
a trained actor. He's just so good. So good. I have all the time and love and respect for Crackerjack. I really hope I get to see him again soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was amazing. It was an absolutely surreal experience, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I think he's one of the.
But I hadn't eaten anything that day. All I had was 2 energy drinks, and then I had to go to work that night. Almost passed out.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, no, I think Crackers is one of the few people who I've wanted to meet, but never.
He will go in history as one of the greatest Australian wrestlers of all time, and I'll make sure of it.
Yeah.
Yes. The time I tagged with Abyss for World Series Wrestling. Massive career highlight. Abyss is the biggest sweetheart ever. We looked after him. We told an amazing story. The whole match pretty much hinged on me.
Because he was injured, wasn't he?
It was just 3 faces and a heel. I got so much heat that night. He protected me so much. Actually, the memory of me getting hit chokeslam by Abyss on the thumbtacks just came up for me today. It's the 3-year anniversary of this match today.
Oh, what good timing.
The day we're recording this. But yeah, he was amazing. He was so happy with the match and how it went. He was tearing up as he was leaving. Because this was his first of 3. This is his last tour.
Yeah.
He had this is the first of 3 matches that he would do before he went to agenting an E.
And he was obviously still injured at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, his neck was busted up, something bad. His neck was not good. So we had to make sure he didn't bump, and we protected him as best we could. And everything is like, oh, I'll give you guys a chop or a double clothesline if you guys are okay with that. It's like, dude, punch me in the face. I don't care. Whatever you want, man. He's such a professional and such a sweetheart.
How was it when you found out this was happening?
Oh,
what
dude.
was the emotions? What was the emotion? What was the...
It blew my tiny mind. Yeah, Adrian Monera messaged me on Instagram. He's like, hey, man, we're going to get you tagged with the best against Gods and Monsters. And he went through all the details. I'm like, and attached to it was the promo from Abyss saying who he's tagging with, which was me. And, I was so excited. I was hyped, man. I was trying to get on the World Series tour since they started.
You reckon you'll be on this one?
Nah.
No, that's sad.
He's already got the card lined up. I asked him.
Look, I think that if you're an Australian worker and you're not trying to aim for World Series, then what's the point? Because I think that should be everyone's goal to try and get it, even if it's just once.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been lucky enough to be around the House of Hardcores and all that sort of stuff. Like I was only ring crew for House of Hardcore, I was a referee for World Series.
Yeah, I worked security and ring crew for House of Hardcore.
Yeah,
but I rocked up with my gear and tan just in case.
Yeah, as you do, which is always good. Now this one gets me every time.
This. So, as I said before, me and Boomer were tagging way before there was even a glimpse of a tag division. And 15 years later, we finally win tag team gold together as the RCW tag team champions, and this is around Christmas time. And yeah, that is me and my beautiful little girl, and me showing her her daddy's a champion, and it was really, really cool. Like, everything just means more now that she's here.
I think what gets me is the fact she's touching the belt and looking dead at it. It's
mate,
such a wholesome
she's a baby.
moment.
Anything shiny, she'll slap it.
Also true. She's cheeky though. She's very cheeky. Had the honor of meeting him. Yeah. Like you were doing the 24-hour stream, so you were going hard, and we're there talking to Mickey because it's the first time I'd met Mickey. And thing is, the whole thing, I've only ever spoken to Mickey either messaging her to set up, giving you the camera when you came over, as well as all that stuff that I got you, and going over. So I'd never met her. He's been in Queensland, but I'd never met her. So I'm just like, hey, I know this is fucking weird, but so we're there obviously catching up, getting to know each other, and yeah, she's just being cheeky. She's like, keeps going to drop the food to Odin. Mickey'd get up, or she'd pick it back up. Kept going until eventually he just went, nah. Odin loved it. Those milk sticks.
Oh yeah, Odin gets lots of treats with Addison's around.
So what's the funniest moment you've got with Addison so far?
The fact that she's a big fan of death metal, and she will start doing low key. She would start doing low growls, and then you growl back at her, and it would just be a back and forth. Oh, in fact, I posted one on my Snapchat just recently, and oh my god, it is the best. She would just keep going back and forth and back and forth.
Really? Because I thought she was a bit of an Ed Sheeran fan, mate.
She is an Ed Sheeran fan, but look, her taste in music just like her dad. Mine goes from K-pop to death metal. You know, it can all be in the same day. Same with her. She likes Harry Styles, Ed Sheeran, Rammstein, Slaughter to Prevail, like KDA. She loves lots of different things.
Yeah, she's a bundle of joy, that one. So, when you guys... What was the moment you and Boomer went, hey, we should team again? Where'd the name come from as well?
We were strong. So Boomer decided that, hey man, I want to work with you again. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, let's make it happen. Let's do something. Whether it be wrestling or whatever. Anyway, he sadly, the stars wouldn't align with where he was at that point in time, so he decided that he would make the switch to Riot City. I'm like, all right, well, we'll start tagging again, man. Let's do it. And it really is that simple. He decided that we want to start work because he felt he was heading towards the end of his career. And that was 2-3 years ago now. And yeah, we started tagging, and we were struggling to think of a name. We were just struggling to think of one that really suited. So, but luckily we were trying to tell a story of us tagging together and for ages. So we had plenty of time to think of one. And then I saw a shirt called Villains of Virtue, and I thought, oh, that'd be a really cool name. But then Marty Squirrel was the villain, and then that whole speaking out movement came along. We're like, oh, yeah, click up that one. Anyway, and then one day I just thought, Kings of Ruin. That sounds cool. Because I think it was a League of Legends thing. And you're back. It was a League of Legends thing because the Ruin Nation, which was this big league event, was saying like, and they just brought out their king, their big bad. I can't remember what it's called. This is not the Dark King. The Forsaken King.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a weapon in there called Blade of the Ruined King. That's actually a weapon, legally. Blade of the Ruined King. Kings of Ruin. Oh! And I pictured the boomers like, yep, whatever you want, man. Like, sweet.
Sounds like Boomer.
Like, all right, glad you're invested, bud. Anyway, so yeah, then we went with Kings of Ruin. Sounded cool.
So, that moment also we talk about where Addison's touching the belt. How about the first time you touched the belt?
Well, the tag belts.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, when we won, I'm not gonna lie, that was an emotional moment for me. I think it was one emotional as much as Boomer feels emotions. Yeah, no, that was a big night for us both, and the match went really, really well. The crowd got everything they wanted that night, and we had the biggest crowd reactions for sure. Because we did these really cool documentary style promos leading into it. And yeah, no, emotions were high that night. Like, I got a bit teary eyed after the match. It was a big deal for us both, for sure.
Yeah, no, it was.
If you ask Boomer, he'll say stuff like, "Oh, these are your tag titles. I'm just holding one for you." I'm like, "Shut up." Boomer. Yeah, no worries. He's just he's just a coach at Riot City as well. You know? Yeah, no, he does nothing.
I remember because I'd been trying to get the info out of you for fucking ages whether or not you were going to win it, but you didn't know. Or say you don't know.
I did.
Yeah, okay. He'd been fucking...
No, man, don't know.
He'd been working me for fucking ages on it.
Yeah, man. I don't give spoilers.
Yeah, little shit. But it was an EWA show, and I was there talking to Lachlan, who's a mate of mine, who's also within the scene. He's not a wrestler, but he's a commentator. He was the commentator and ring announcer when we did YBA.
Yeah, I know he is. He does Todd's show.
Hey?
He does Todd's podcast.
He does the podcast with Toddy as well, yeah. And Todd walks in and he's like, "Oh yeah, your boy won the tag belts," and then just walk back out. And I'm like, "What?" Because the whole you said that obviously the story had happening since before COVID. So my mindset was, I don't know if they're going to keep doing that, if they're going to bring Gods and Monsters back to win it. I didn't know how it was all going to play out. So in my head, I'm like, oh, easy win. Like, it's going to happen. I couldn't read that fucking story for the life of me. So I was a bit shocked on that one. Got a bit excited.
Yeah, no. It was cool.
I think it was like an hour phone call.
We started that chase. Here's the thing. We started that title chase towards the tag title back when I had long hair.
Yeah. Jesus.
So a while ago.
Oh, let's bring that up. Why'd you cut it?
Oh, I did it for because I do a annual-ish 24-hour charity streams. And the second one, I put stipulation: if we raise $2,000 for Beyond Blue, I cut my hair off, and now I look as dapper AF. We were like at 1,700 something, doing really well, and then someone came in with like the last $360. He put off his LASIK surgery just so we can donate towards the cause. And
wow,
I cut my hair off. Donated my hair to charity as well.
Oh, what, into a wig or something like that for...
Yeah. So children with alopecia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, did a lot of good that stream. That's cool.
Well, let's talk about that. So you started Twitch I know you said you were
Yep.
trying to run it off a laptop and it was wigging out. No, but it was off.
Oh no.
No, it was off your
I
internet.
didn't
but
have
it
internet.
was bugging out. Yeah, it was internet, and it was wigging out.
Yeah, NBN wasn't a thing here for a long time, so I was using my phone internet, and every time I'd stream for 3 hours, I'd use 7 gig of data from my phone. And back then, just a few years ago, if you like getting any more than 10 gigs of data on your, or 25 gigs of data on your phone was extremely expensive. Now you get that with ease.
Yeah, I get unlimited.
Like I got like 60 gig without paying anything extra on it right now.
Yeah, I think it might be 60, but I look at it as unlimited because I never fucking barely touch it anyway. I don't even come close.
Yeah, no,
so I look at it as unlimited
because
because I'm not
NBN's
going to
a
run
thing
out. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I started streaming at the Average Andy, and obviously tried streaming with that because I wanted to keep the Zak Sabbath thing and the streaming thing separate. And then I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna combine the two. So I brought my wrestling persona over to Twitch, and at the time I was meant to be this monster heel, but I was always so appreciative of anyone who would bother to spend time on my Twitch channel that it just didn't stick.
Yeah.
And then obviously we started doing the charity things. And I remember the first time it was that the goal was to raise $200. We immediately smashed that and got to 500. Because instead at 500, I shaved my beard off. And I'm never allowed to do it again. I can do anything else except shave my beard, apparently. Because it was, I looked like a 14-year-old boy. Anyway, we raised $1,000 that first one, which was insane. Then 2,000, and then obviously the third one we raised over 8,000, and then the fourth one we raised 1,800.
So what made you go, hey, I want to do a charity stream? I want to do charity stuff.
I don't know. Well, actually, no, I do know. Sadly, we've lost a few good brothers to the Black Cloud. And I too have been known to struggle with mental health as well. So I felt like raising some awareness and some money for Beyond Blue seemed like a good idea. And I wanted to do something. And yeah, I was looking in on ways to grow a Twitch channel or whatever, and said, you can do 24-hour streams. I'm like, why do I want to do a 24-hour stream just to try and build up my channel? If I'm going to do it, might as well do something good, and, kind of just happened. So yeah, I just wanted to raise, the main goal was raising awareness and money for Beyond Blue, because, men's mental health isn't really talked about. It's talked about a lot more, but not as much as it should be. Or anyone's mental health, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy in that way. It's good that I can't remember what the company is, or if it's just for whatever it is, but the whole it ain't weak to speak, because it is such a thing for men that they don't want to talk about it, and I don't know that from my 2020, all that crap that happened with me, and it's. You don't want to talk to people. You want to keep it inside. And like with me specifically, and you can talk about your experiences, because I do want to talk about mental health and all that sort of stuff. I think it was the macho-ness inside my head that I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. I was getting angry, but I was angry because I was letting it affect me. And I was angry at myself that it was affecting me. And then I'd get angry at the fact that I was angry about it. So it'd just snowball into this big ball of anger, but I wouldn't let it out. I'd keep it in because, again, you don't want to show any of that. Was that the same for you when you were going through your stuff?
Look, it's been an on and off kind of deal, I guess. No, I wasn't angry. Though depends on the situation. See, I didn't have one specific thing to kind of trigger it.
Yep.
I did, when I was at my lowest of low, it was one thing that kind of just spiraled way out of control, to a point where I did attempt to take my own life. But luckily my sister was there to kind of stop me, because I was blind. I don't remember it actually happening. But being a martial arts fan, as soon as I turned 18, I started collecting swords. Turns out I tried to run myself through with one of those swords.
Oh,
My
lovely.
sister had to tackle me down and stop me. Again, this is just what she's told me. I don't remember at all. I just woke up and everyone was in grump and concerned at the same time. And then they sat me down and told me what happened. And yeah, but it was one of those things where once I hit rock bottom, the only place to go was up. And up I went. And I haven't gotten to that point yet. I haven't gotten to that low in a long time. I've the weird thing, right? I thought it was quite common to have the intrusive suicidal thoughts. I've for years, for years and years and years, I've had suicidal thoughts. Lots and lots of them. Some days were obviously far worse than others. Where yep, this is it. I'm gonna go home. I know what I'm gonna do, and then something would distract me.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of almost forget about it, I guess.
See, yeah,
Or lived another day. But yeah, no, look, again, after that, it wasn't anything specific that triggered it. It was just kind of like a constant looming thing. But yeah, turns out, as I found out, that no, a lot of people don't think about suicide.
Yeah.
Like almost everyone doesn't think about suicide.
Yeah, no, it was pretty insane for me to find out when I was going to therapy and all that stuff for PTSD as well. I was in a weird spot because, I never thought about, self-harm or suicide or anything. It was never really a thing for me, which is why it was so random that when it happened, it was very, all or nothing, which was the crazy part. Luckily, the first time I had that thought, I also had my partner with me at the time, so that stopped it. But the next time it happened, and it's the stupid, in my head, it's the stupidest thing that triggers it. The last time I did it, had that thought, was I was meant to have mates come over and watch the footy, but they had to back out. And my partner was on a work trip for 10 days. So that just, big fucking spiral. Same thing as you said, you know what you're going to do, you're going to do it. Although I was laying on the couch, I remember it vividly. I was in the dark, listening to Linkin Park, because that's what, but it wasn't helping. It was the only time it's never helped. But Linkin Park has always been that thing for me for whatever reason, hence why they're on me. And it was, my dog's amazing. She literally just jumped on the couch and just all of her body weight on top of me, so I couldn't get off the couch. I'd literally just end up falling asleep there because anytime I tried to move, it's like she knew jiu-jitsu. She just kept me down. That was probably the oddest experience because I think if there was any time it was going to happen, it was going to be then. But then I look back at it now and I feel so stupid. It was just because my mates didn't come over and my partner wasn't there.
Yeah, man.
It was such
weird things are the catalyst.
It's so odd. And then this is going to turn into a fucking solemn moment I can try to tell. But the thing that I think fucking, because Carmen's oh, a lot of people, you've got a lot of friends. In my eyes, I don't think I fucking do. She's like, oh, you got these wrestling guys. I'm like, yeah, but they're wrestling guys. They're just guys I see at shows. I wouldn't say I've got a lot of them who I'm close with. I've got a best mate, but even then, you don't really see them much. As soon as you get out of high school, you get jobs, you get busy. You don't really see them as much as you used to.
Yep, welcome to being 30.
Yeah, I'm not 30. I'm turning 23 in just under a month.
Well, that's the grown-up world, man. You have to plan shit ahead. You can't just go out and do whatever you want anymore.
But see, that was the odd thing. And yeah, I think the fucking thing that I think has really helped with my noggin is you and fucking, whether it's Twitch or just fucking being there regardless. Because it's weird fucking already, you can tell just from my messages when something's fucking up, even though I'm not fucking trying to give anything off. So I do fucking thank you a lot for actually just fucking being there. And actually, you have a lot of mates who you say you're there for them, but you really don't think they fucking are, and you are one of them. So I fucking appreciate that more than fucking anything else you've done.
What homies are for, my dude?
Oh, look, it's just, you get those best mates and you're like, if I called them, would they? And then that's the fucking hard part. Especially, that's probably a guy thing as well, for sure, in this mental health thing.
I think that's just an everyone thing, man.
Yeah. Back onto a lighter subject. I found a bit of a video that's gonna bring some joy. No. You'll enjoy this one.
Okay.
We didn't enjoy it at the time, but you'll enjoy this one. Run us through it.
Ah, yes. So this was, for those playing at home, old mate Reynolds. This is my sister-in-law, Annika. She is an absolute sweetheart. She's actually here in my house right now.
Oh, there you go.
Dyeing Michaela's hair purple. So what we have here is we're doing a kind of like a hot nugs hot sauce thing. So we got Frank's Red Hot, which is delicious. We got Tabasco sauce, which isn't hot, it's just disgusting. Then we got some
tastes very nice.
really nice. I can't remember the brand, but we had some habanero sauce and then some Carolina Reaper
was
black
Jack's,
garlic,
wasn't
which
it?
was really nice.
I think it was Jack's. The last two were Jack's.
Yeah, Jack's. That's it. And they
That
are
was
really
really nice.
tasty.
Yeah, that was
I
really
got one
nice.
of at work. It's really tasty.
It was warm,
then
but
the
it was
last
tasty.
one, the last one I knew was going to be fucked, was it's Blair's After Death sauce.
I'll send it to Andy so he's
And I think this is, I think we just had an extra nug. Annika's cooked the nug. She's been here the entire time, so she's been up for like 22 hours with us.
Yeah, I think we were up pretty. I know we tried to sleep in pretty early. Also, you had no clue that we were. You had no clue that we were rocking up, so that was a surprise. But this is the start. But
I remember the Tabasco sauce. I'm like, this stuff sucks.
oh, dude, it was disgusting.
It's
It wasn't even hot. It
Who
was just
thinks
gross.
this stuff's good? Who puts this on food?
I brought it because I've seen it on like different things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll fucking, sweet. But
It
yeah,
wasn't
no,
even
was
hot. It's
horrid.
just gross.
That's right.
But yeah, my favorite thing about this is you guys will see Reynolds straight up dies, and I'm fine because I'm too busy laughing at Reynolds. And then you got old mate pasty white lady there, tapping into the quarter Filipino blood that's flowing through her veins, who goes in for a second bite because she thinks it's great. To be fair, the Jack sauces were really nice, but that Blair's Mega Death
oh, it
sucked
just
egg.
killed you.
Yeah, that's just mostly vinegar.
Hey, look at
I
us, we're
felt
like,
that the
"That's
next day."
disgusting." Yeah, we are so we're just so sad. It tastes so bad.
I'm gonna send you something that's gonna be horrific.
The Jack's ones, oh, so good.
They're just tasty. Like they were hot.
Yeah,
but They were
man.
fucking tasty.
No,
I think the black pepper one I really
to be fair
enjoyed.
though, the I did have some more of the Reaper black garlic one. Yeah, no, it's still pretty rough. Still pretty warm.
So this one was obviously for Cancer Council as well. This is a charity stream.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good.
And yeah, so we had him convinced that the day that I was going to stay up on the computer with him all day, and we were going to go to Western Australia the next day. So he had no clue. It was fucking amazing. I'll see if I can find the fucking video of us rocking up too. But yeah, that was a fun moment. Yeah, there you go. No, that's not bad.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Skip along to the death.
Hold up, let me check this out. What have you got here? What would you
A bullseye, that's it. It's bullseye.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's hot, but I'm enjoying it.
Ah, and here it is, Blair's After Death sauce.
Blair's
This
After
isn't
Death
even their hottest sauce.
Tell you what, Reynolds, you hit that first.
Wow, my lighting's so much better now.
You're struggling there, aren't you, Chief? Not really. Get slather that on.
You're like, yeah, you get that up first. You just wanted to watch me fucking die.
Oh yeah, because
Oh,
you're
and look
a
how much I
sissy.
put on
that
too.
Was so
Instant
Dude.
regret.
Yeah, that's so much.
I was trying to
after
be
death.
so cocky about it. I'm like, you're fucking
Then
talking
you watch
it up.
Annie. She just goes in for seconds.
Yeah, the seconds is what killed her though.
You go first.
The last one.
I know what this is like.
Look, she's just dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's already gone.
Yeah, I put so much on there though. I think she went for a second lot and I went to put more on. No, don't kill her. Just straight away.
Yeah, there's me just hating everything. And there's my instant relief.
Oh yeah, that one comes in swinging. That's still better than eating those raw chilies before.
I started to cry.
Yep.
Anakin's taking
There's me suffering. And there's Annie going, laughing at us both. She's like, you want me to get you some milk? Yes, please.
Yeah.
There she goes. To get us some milk. Yeah. Oh my god. The lighting annoys me. It's so, like, my setup is just so much better now. And there's me. Instant relief. Because you are suffering so bad.
I think we got the milk. I drank something and it just made it worse.
Yeah,
No, we both went to have a
Soft drink
nugget.
makes it worse.
We both went to have a nugget to try and drain
Yes.
it out, and we both just like, ah.
Yeah, there's me back being in pain.
Yep.
You're in way more pain than I am.
Oh, dude, I was feeling it the next day. Like, I was feeling it the next day. It was so bad.
That one's a bit fucked.
It was horrendous. And she's like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, bullshit, it wasn't. And you can find this on his Twitch. It is still up there as a VOD. This is how I found this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Where do we
sorry
go
about
in for the
bad
nugget?
lighting, guys?
Where do we go in for the nugget?
Oh, there she goes in for seconds.
Yeah, and I went to go put more, and you're like, don't, you'll kill her.
She needs to function.
Look how much is on there, though.
Yeah, and she feels it this time, though. It just kicks her out of nowhere. There it is.
Yep, there it is. She made a mistake.
She
Yeah,
got
there
cocky.
it is.
She got cocky.
That's so good. Oh, that's
Where do
good
we go
stuff.
for the nugget.
That'll be. I can't wait till
I think I've already done it, man.
it'll just be shit.
Yeah, there she goes. She's struggling. You're still dying.
That'll be the entire morning of the stream. It'll just be shit.
Just death.
just hearing a grown man sob.
Straight fucking lava. Oh, there's an image. Oh, dude, I thought I thought there was gonna be vomit at that point as well.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's how bad it was. Is I thought there was gonna be fucking vomit.
That's amazing. Love it.
Yeah, it was just.
Good times.
It hurt me. Oh, why is this not going? My bad. Had to readjust something. But the one thing that I do miss about Adelaide, because we thought it was happening here when we got back, and we got so disappointed when it wasn't, was that you guys had like the chocolate soft serve at Macca's.
Yeah.
Oh, disappointment is an understatement when it wasn't here.
Oh, that's
we
hilarious. I didn't realize
were-
that was just an SA thing.
we get like the choc waffle cones, but we don't get the chocolate ice cream.
That's weird.
Yeah, like it's just it's depressing. Is this it here? Oh, here it is. All right. I don't think you've ever seen this footage either.
Oh, did you rock it up to my house
Yeah,
with my beautiful wife?
trying to sneak in as quietly as we're like very slowly closing the door. Like we're trying to be.
I
so
didn't hear anything,
careful.
man. I got my headphones in. I got no idea. Yeah, you rocked up like ridiculously late.
I can't remember why. There was something that stopped us.
Michaela's stressed out because you meant to be here at a certain time.
No, I do remember why. Because we went to go see my grandfather's memorial, but we were trying to find some. Not grandfather, great uncle's memorial.
Hi, Carmen. So Reynolds just rocked up at my house. Yeah, setup looks a bit different with Keep him off stream. That makes sense. 1 second.
Yeah, that was a good moment, that one. Because
Man,
yeah,
if Saints rocked up as well, dude, I'm pretty sure I would have cried.
yeah. Well, see,
Good
that
on
was
Arky Boy for coming out as well. Tell you what,
That
just
was
a
the plan.
massive shout out to our boy Adrian Archiboy. Without him, I'd be, struggling massively. He does so much like technical work, and he supports me on like he roasts the shit out of me. We roast each other.
We all do.
But that dude is an absolute sweeter. I have all the time in the world for that guy.
Yeah, no, it was good
Ark
to be able to
is
meet
a
some of the community.
bloody good
while
dude.
we were there. It was really good because I teed up when we got the camera and all that stuff. We had teed up that we knew you were gonna do the charity stream, and we're like, all right, we want to tee up that we can fucking all be there at the same time. Initially, I wasn't even planning on it being a wrestling trip. It was just gonna be a one night thing. It was just gonna be me and Sankt meeting up at the airport, splitting an Airbnb, and just rocking up for that. And then obviously everything else sort of came into it.
Great in theory, except I'm sitting in front of my computer for 24 hours. Like, we wouldn't have been able to hang out at all. It's so dumb.
Yeah, well, I think we were going to spend a couple of days because even Mickey was like, oh, I'll make sure he gets like a couple of days off that we can try and tee up that, you know. But you had the week off anyway, so it worked out well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we were planning on doing. And sadly, obviously, saying you had a new job. But it'll happen. It'll happen at some point. We'll just surprise you with Sankt and we'll all rock up again.
Man, I'm going to give that big, sexy fucker a hug.
Oh, no, man, he's got that pedo stash.
Dude, probably instantly get on the registry list. Just by hugging him.
He can't show his face on camera. He's going to stay off camera the whole time. You know, it was
He's
good
still
to meet.
playing Elden Ring.
It was good to meet Ark. It was cool to meet Sin. So that was cool to be able to meet
They're
up with
all
those
good
guys.
dudes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very blessed with my mod team. Just they started off as just online personalities that very quickly became good friends of mine. Very good friends.
Yeah.
Of ours now.
Yes. Actually, another cool person who was able to meet up with was when you came to Queensland and we managed to get Paddy to come up.
My boy Paddy.
That was
the
an
most
interesting, but it was a cool
man you'll
experience.
ever meet.
Yes.
100%.
His Facebook's just as interesting.
Oh yeah, that man lives a life. He lives a life.
And shout out to him at the moment because his house got pretty much fucked up with the floods. So I think he's doing better now.
His grandparents' house. He lost all his stuff though.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. So I think he's doing a little bit better now after the floods. But shout out to him because I know he does listen to him because he keeps plugging me in the Discord. So thank you for that, Paddy, very much. I appreciate it.
Paddy.
You're a mad lad.
Paddy is the sugar daddy of this channel for sure.
Yeah, motherfucker took my fucking top gifts.
Oh
Piece of
mate,
shit.
yeah. Plus, look, he's also been subbed for almost 2 years as a tier 3 sub.
And I feel like he's been more than that, hasn't it?
No man, it's
he hasn't cracked 2
he
years
started as
yet?
a tier 1, but now he's tier.
Ah,
They've been
okay.
tier 3 for almost 2 years. He is like when I first started, he started sharing me around.
Well, because you guys
Like,
went to
as
high
average
school
Andy.
together, did you not?
Yeah, no, we went to primary school together.
Primary school.
I've been mates with Paddy for 20 years. We went to primary school, then we went to the same high school, and then he moved to Queensland. And we just kind of loosely stayed in touch.
Yeah,
and
now we
then
got him.
my favorite Paddy story is that it was the week of my Bucks night. I'm like, oh, so you're getting? He's like, so you're getting married? I'm like, yeah, man. And he's like, you having a Bucks night? I'm like, yeah. I would love to have invited you, man, but I didn't want to put that financial pressure on you to travel interstate because, again, I'm a very frugal guy. So I don't like putting that kind of pressure on people. He's like, I'm on that trading money. I'll be there. He booked a flight with a day's notice. And
Yeah,
just
he's insane.
rocked up at my house, bought a box full of booze, and kicked that party off. Just Paddy style.
Now, talk us through this.
I'm
'cause
very
obviously
blessed. Here's the thing. I'm very blessed. I've had some of the same friends for over 20 years since like Roosh. I've been mates with for 20 years. Paddy, I've been mates with for over 20 years. My mate Gareth, I've been mates with for over 20 years. Super Steve, 15. Like I am Boomer, 15. I'm very blessed. I'm not sure if this is like just because of who I am or I'm just lucky. But yeah, I'm very blessed with the circle of friends I've managed to keep and managed to grow. And my cool little community on Discord and Twitch. Life's good, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Gonna move on to for guys who are on Spotify. We do apologize, but the video is also going to be much better, so make sure you check that out. We're trying to describe what's happening the best we can. There was a night that you were streaming, and me and Carmen were talking, and she was right next to me the whole time, and there was just a moment where you've said it a bunch, but there was this one moment where you said you wanted to be you want to upgrade your channel, you want to be a full-time Twitch streamer so you can get rid of the job you're currently at and spend more time with Addison. Then Addison came on not planned, but well-timed, she came onto the screen, and me and Carmen just looked at each other and just knew that we had to do something. It was a two-parter. One part was a donation because you guys had a fucking insane power bill because Origin fucked you over.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
And then the next part was all this.
Oh. Yeah, you told me about, you bought me a capture card. I'm like, wow, that's insane. Yeah. I'm like, why would you... I remember this. This was my first wrestling trip in 10 years.
So Saint and Ark helped with this as well.
Yeah. As I said, I'm very blessed with the friends and people in my circle that I've managed to get. Look, what an amazing time to freeze it.
So for the people who aren't watching, we're watching when Sabbath first came over to my place. This is on the vlog on his YouTube channel that I put together for him. He'd been talking about this camera for ages. He'd been wanting to upgrade, hence why he's looking so gosh darn pretty now. This moment, without fucking saying much, affected me more than I put on, because I like to give to people who are worthy, and there's not a lot of them around. And like I said, you've helped me out a bunch, which I think I'll go into in the video. And this felt like I was giving back, because I'm not good at emotionally giving back or like that sort of stuff, but I can give back physically. So that's what I wanted to do with this.
Fuck off. What have you done? Fuck off! No! No!
So yeah, my new camera, the camera that he and my beautiful mod team all chipped in to get me. This is me blowing my tiny mind. Can't believe that people have just bought me this stuff.
So fucking
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, so they all chipped in on that, and I afterpaid all the cables, all the capture card, all that stuff, because I wanted it to be like you could get home, set it up, and you were good to go.
And I did. And I did.
And back to what we were.
Yeah, man, I almost started crying. I couldn't deal.
And for some fun moments.
It was a massive thing, and yeah, really recommend you guys check out this blog.
It was a fun
Zaki
blog.
Zaki boy here put a lot of work into it, and we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to shoot. It was a really good weekend. I might actually film another one, because I might have another interstate trip planned in April.
Yeah, man.
Because Riot City is going to be working Gluttony in Melbourne, so
Nice.
it's going to be a carpool thing. So I'm going to have a lot of people in the car with shenanigans.
Yeah, no, this was it was only realistically 2 full days. Well, technically a day and a half. And yeah, this like meeting Patty, the whole arcade trip, Snitch, just the whole...
Hey, bro. Is your hair purple? I can't see it.
For anyone who doesn't know what's going on, he's talking to his wife right now. She's getting her hair dyed.
Okay. I just have to chuck it in the microwave.
I'll have to get her on here at some point as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck, but I'll try.
So I've just been informed that my dinner is cold.
There we go. Yeah, this was fun. Obviously we had... Want to do a bit of a...
You can see why we're wrestlers.
Yes. Yes.
Taking baby boy through his first real chest day.
Oh, fuck off. And we had this, which, yeah, it's probably one of my most favorite matches that I've had. Yeah, it felt like everything, but it felt like nothing at the same time. And obviously there was a lot of shit mentally with everything that was going on in regards to the show itself. So it was good to be able to have
Oh yeah,
a safe haven
the
in the
crowd
match.
was very eager to be interacted.
Oh man, I almost ate the corner.
The one good chair shot you hit me with.
Shut up. I was trying to be generous. They popped for that second miss though. Which was, I wasn't expecting that reaction. And then this shit didn't come off for like a month.
The black mist.
And then here we go. Ready?
And
Ready?
there's me going
Last
for
man
a pin in
standing.
the last man standing match. Yay! It was just such a good pod where I was so hyped. Disappointed. What a spoon.
Okay, here's something funny. You got a copyright thing because of this video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because of the video and what it was.
What, Kevin Hart's copy
Yeah.
striked us?
Oh, we didn't get a strike or anything because we're not making money. But we're just like, hey, this is copyrighted, so we're going to put ads on.
Oh, okay. Kevin Hart enjoyed the ads.
And then the best part of all this is
Oh, yeah.
the color.
Him having to watch
Oh.
two different... Look at his hair. It's munted.
Disgusting.
Hilarious.
Disgusting.
You're welcome.
And even like the after effects on you.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Looks like I got monster bruises.
Looks like looks like the
covered
worst
in
bruise you've ever
food
seen.
coloring.
But it's just 3 different colors merged together. You got the orange, the green, and the black. And then he wanted me to get up so early because he wanted to see his stores. So he's there jamming. I'm like, I'm not having
No,
none of this.
I had to catch an early flight.
You wanted to
like-
catch an early flight.
No, oh yeah, so I can go home and spend time with my family. Which I got home to my daughter and immediately started crying.
Yes. Well, obviously that was your first time away from her. But so
Yeah,
for people
first
on
trip
that,
away from...
that vlog's
daughter.
on Zak_Sabbath on YouTube. As much as we've got some other stuff on there, I've just got to get my ass back into editing because
Yeah, got a new Elden Ring series to work on.
got that as well.
Which I
got
think
the
people
24-hour
are going to
stream.
get a lot of... get a bit of a kick out of because the whole thing's just me doing squats.
Yes, it is amazing. But yeah,
There's definitely a
like,
squat montage
and
there.
I will, even on here, I'll hold myself accountable. I do want to apologize for the fact that I'm not putting more effort into the editing. But just with all the stuff that I was doing for a certain company, and the way that sort of all went down, it just sort of took the fun away from my editing. So even
No,
now
that's
with
fair,
like
man.
doing all this stuff, the editing just kills me. But I will be trying if I can get back on that because there's quality content to be out there, and that's obviously one of them. And I think that one actually performed really well. So anyone who's listening to this, go check out that video because it was a hell of a time.
Mm.
Although, actually, we saw the Mist. What made you want to do the Mist?
Great Muta and Tajiri. I remember watching Tajiri as a kid and always thinking the Poison Mist was absolutely amazing. Like, just blew my tiny mind. And then I looked into moves that because I was a big fan of the Shining Wizard on SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain, so I googled up who invented the Shining Wizard, and that's how I found the Great Muta, and then I started watching his matches, and then obviously the origin of the Poison Mist is the Great Kabuki passed it on to the Great Muta and Tajiri, and then pretty much just spread like wildfire after that. And there's a really awesome photo of Tajiri, who was trained. Who I think he's trained. Tajiri was trained by the Great Muta. So Tajiri, the Great Kabuki, and the Great Muta all poisoning, misting someone at the same time. Really, really cool photo.
Wasn't there one where they like tried to like poison mist each other as well? At the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They've definitely done that for sure.
Yeah, that was actually, yeah. I know you like to keep that a secret as well as how all that works. So it was kind of cool to learn that, and you've actually gotten up me for not using it, but I haven't had the chance yet. But
Yeah.
I will. Because I like to take.
I don't pass on my secrets to just anyone.
Yeah, I like to. Obviously, I like to take in things from different people, whether it's indie guys, WWE guys. Who have you taken stuff away from, both internationally and in your own circle?
The biggest influences for me are Ryan Eagles, Rocky Monero, Johnny Radek was a massive one. A lot of my training comes from him. So those are probably the big three locally. Internationally, probably the most influential seminar I did was Al Snow. Al Snow seminar changed how I saw the business and how I perform as a wrestler. It really kind of opened my eyes a bit, and he's very open-minded to other people's things. So I kind of took like mostly what he said, applied it to what I already know, and then started listening to some other people as well. So yeah, that's probably the people that I've actually trained with or learned from in person. That's them. But yeah, obviously, the Muda, Tajiri, who else? Bit of Shingo and Ishii in there as well. That's just modern thing. But yeah, mainly the biggest influence internationally for me has been Al Snow. His seminar was insane. He's such a smart dude, man. If you can watch one, do it. You won't regret it.
All right, so on this sort of thing, is something that I've been wanting to do with the podcast, especially the wrestling ones, is I'm going to do called Top 3. So I'm going to give you a question, or multiple questions, and you've got to give me your top 3 in order.
All right.
First one, top 3 games.
Oh, that's easy. Does it have to be in any order?
Just go from third, second, first.
Third is SmackDown Know Your Role. SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. Second is WWF No Mercy. And first is SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
Is that all games you've ever played, or just specifically wrestling?
Is that wrestling games?
No, I mean as a whole, in general.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, opens it up so much more. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Number 1 favorite game of all time will probably have to be The Witcher 3. Followed by Dragon Age Origins. And third... No, sorry. I can't put it down there. Witcher series, Dragon Age series, and then League of Legends.
League of Legends. TV series.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, number 1.
Good.
Does this include anime?
Still TV series, so yeah.
One Piece. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've watched more. One Piece, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then Witcher series.
Movies. I feel like I know what your number 1's going to be, but movies.
The Crow. The Crow's number 1 for me. That's actually... The Crow is why my face paint was the way it was when I first started, was The Crow. So The Crow's number 1. Dang. This is a bit harder.
I know you're a bit of a movie
Crow
buff.
number 1. Beetlejuice number 2.
Oh.
Number 3. Ooh. It's hard. I've seen a lot of movies, man. Trying to think of every movie I've ever seen. Avengers Endgame.
Ooh, good one. Australian wrestlers. Past
3.
and present.
Whoa. Top 3.
Or, you know, let's go past. We'll go And Ryan can go on the past one, even though he's just come back.
Me, number one would be Ryan Eagles.
Yep.
Ryan Eagles, Man Mountain. These are dudes who have retired.
Yep.
And the man Johnny Raddick used to be.
Now active.
Active. Is it? Hayter, Seabass, Mick Moretti.
Interesting. International. And I'll make this one all time just to make it real hard.
I'll do it third. 3, 2, 1. So third would be all time Shingo. Second will be Ishii. Number one, Santino Marella.
Dude, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one for me.
Okay.
I feel like I know why, because I know your brain. But
is
yeah.
one of the most underrated and possibly greatest wrestlers of all. One, any dumb gimmick they gave him, he'd make work. Right? Anything. You gave him something, he made it work. Dude's a legit weapon. MMA, like, almost undefeated, like, black belt judo. He's a legit... He was going to be Rusev before Rusev was Rusev, yeah? He was just going to be this Russian fucking death machine. But they brought him in as Santino Marella, even though the dude's Canadian. But
yeah,
if you read workers about how well they can get over with the shittest finishes ever, Hulk Hogan, he did a leg drop. The Rock, he did a running elbow drop. Santino Marella put on a sock and did a snake strike to people's neck. And you best believe that when people got hit with that, the people thought that was the finish. You tell me, in that elimination chamber, when he got the near fall on Daniel Bryan and he hit him with the Cobra, that crowd thought Santino Marella was going to be the fucking champion. And God help me, I wanted him to be the champion so bad. Santino Marella is one of the greatest workers of all time, and I will die on this hill.
title designs.
I'm actually a big fan of the Riot City Wrestling title. I thought that was different. That's cool.
It is pretty.
Oh, sorry. RCW Emerald Crown, #1. Looks amazing.
But this is of all time.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
RCW Emerald Crown looks sensational.
It is a beautiful
Fucking
belt.
dangerous, but looks sensational. The WCW Heavyweight title,
The big
back
gold.
in the day, loved it. The big gold one. Big fan. And the AEW World title.
It is a pretty belt. Have you seen the new women's
is
one, by
pretty
the way? The new one?
Yeah, the new women's one looks way
Yeah,
more
I like.
professional.
Yeah,
Love
I
it. Big
prefer
fan.
that so much more than the other one.
Mhm.
This one's gonna be a bit harder. I feel for you. Memorable moments you've had.
Me personally,
Correct.
winning the RCW strap, winning the tag team straps.
And I'm not just talking wrestling. I mean, overall.
Oh, well, that's fucking. That's even easier, man.
Yeah. It's the third one I feel like you'd struggle with. I know the first two.
Getting married, daughter being born, proposing to my wife.
Nah, that's good. That's good. And I did have
Easy.
bands.
Top 3 forever bands. No, that's hard.
Yeah.
Judas Priest, Soilwork, Ozzy Osbourne.
How low on the board is Eskimo Callboy?
Ah, there's somewhere.
Yeah. Moments you've had on Twitch.
Oh. Moments. I've been doing this like non-stop, like for like 3-4 years, man. Catching up with Demi and her donating $1,000 to the Raise Your Horns thing. Getting surprised by my mods as they rock up at my goddamn house. That was pretty cool.
Mankini stream.
And my first charity stream.
The first charity stream. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, I was almost expecting to hear the Mankini stream pop up, but
No. Just a silly gimmick.
it was fun though. Top 3 people you want to run it back with?
The hell does that mean?
Rematch.
Oh. Seabass.
As third or as first?
No particular order for this one.
Okay.
Seabass. Grim. Ryan Eagles. Ryan Eagles will be number 1.
People you haven't but want to wrestle before you retire.
Mick Moretti. Eddie Dusk. Royce Chambers. Oh no, I've wrestled Royce Chambers in a tag match. So Mick Moretti, Eddie Dusk, and Tommy Knight. I like the word Tommy. Good kid.
Now, same question, but international.
Oh. Minoru Suzuki, Will Ospreay, and ooh. Fuck it, the Great Muta. Shoot for the stars.
Now, tag teams all over the world. So that can be here, can be overseas. 3 tag teams you want to face.
Aussie Open. So Aussie Open. What are the PWA kids called?
Velocities?
Velocities. Yep. Aussie Open and Velocities. And Four Nations.
Shows you the talent pool that we have in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was one. I just had in my
I just
head.
don't know any other. I don't know any like international tag teams, to be honest.
That's fair. Okay. Your 4-corner table. You and 3 people for any that you get to sit down, have dinner, talk to, past, present, all over history. Who are you inviting to the table? And why?
Well, I don't. Past or present. Past isn't irrelevant. So for me,
if you wanted to talk, I know some people say like Michael Jordan, like anyone who's even like people who are dead, who are alive. Doesn't matter who they are. You get 3 people that you get to invite
look,
to the
man,
table.
I don't live in the past, man. But I would like to talk to If we're talking, screw it. I'd like to talk to Ed Parker, the founder of American Campo. I would like to talk to Abyss. I'd like to talk to Mick Foley.
Well, there's three. There's your
That's
three.
it. I'll do.
And why? Why these gentlemen?
Ed Parker, because he's the founder of my main martial art, which is American Campo. Brilliant martial artist, terrible businessman. And I'd like to just pick his brain because the dude was insane. Abyss, because he's a sweetheart and incredibly smart, and I'd like to get some more of his knowledge in the business. And same for Mick Foley. I'd like to pick both their brains about their life experiences and, knowledge of the biz.
If you had one life lesson, we'll go wrestling life lesson to pass down to someone, or you think everyone, rookies, vets should know, what's that one thing?
Don't be a dick.
Fair enough. It looked like he was going to say more, but he didn't. Best bit of advice you've ever been given.
There was a massive thing that came out in Australia called the Speaking Out movement that affected a lot of people. And you know whose name was never mentioned? Mine. Why? Because I'm not a fucking arsehole. It's really not that hard to be a complete arsehole. Who knew? I've been managing it just fine for 15 years. Like, to elaborate, know your history, respect yourselves and each other and the promotion you're working for. Don't be a dick. Wrestling's meant to be a happy place that brings us all together. Like, brings us together. People shouldn't get anxiety by going in the locker room. If that's the mentality, if that's something that's happening in your locker room, then make fun. Like, it's meant to be a happy place.
There's something that ties in
It's
with
meant
that.
to be escape for not just the people paying for tickets, but the people performing the shows as well.
There's something that ties
It's meant
in.
to be good vibes and happiness.
Something that ties in
And
with
if
that.
it's not, make changes.
Something that ties in with that is, what's the worst bit of advice you've ever been given?
This is verbatim. Don't go to RCW. You won't learn anything there.
You just cut out.
I said don't. One of the worst bits of advice I was given was
you're not
don't go to
coming through.
RCW.
Hold on.
You won't learn anything there.
I can't hear. Why can't I hear?
Well, it's coming. I can see me coming through there, so it's coming through in the recording, right? Lots of RCW.
There's a phone going off.
Can you hear me?
But I don't think I can hear you anymore for some reason.
1 second.
Oh, why is this happening? You're going through, but I can't hear. I'll try this.
Good time to wrap it up then. I'm hungry.
Why is this happening? So weird. Like, nothing's changed either. Why? My mic going through? My mic's going through. Can you hear me? Fuck's sake.
What's the best headphones are
Nah,
dead?
headphones are alive. Alright, well, actually, on that, we are about to crack 2 hours, so I will let you go. They can hear you, so you keep talking. What socials can they follow you on?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my Zak_Sabbath on all the things: Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. I don't use it because Twitter's a cesspool. Just remember, kids, don't be dick. It's really not that hard. Love each other, be good people, and the business will thrive.
Danskis? Alrighty.
Oh, also
Well,
follow.
oh.
Follow. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear what you're saying now.
Okay. Follow my beautiful wife,
Don't know why.
Mickey Fortune, the Huntress Mickey Fortune, on Instagram as well.
Okay, I don't know what he said, but I'm not sure it was good or not. He just gave me a weird smile. But thank you very much for being on. I do appreciate it. Obviously, the first guest on here.
My
I've been
pleasure,
waiting
kid.
because wanted you to be the first one. You were very supportive when I first said that I was doing this journey with doing the podcasting. So it means the world for you to be on here and be the first one on this episode of Wrestling Chat. So, Zak Sabbath, thank you very much.
My pleasure, mate.